Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi holds delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Andrej Plenković. 4 MOUs exchanged between India and Croatia. India launches Operation Sindhu to evacuate Indian nationals from Iran. First flight carrying 110 Indian students on the way home. US President Donald Trump says Iran proposed a possible meeting at the White House, but it's very late to be talking. Trump also says his patience has run out. A minority centre-right government formally takes power in Portugal after Parliament throws out a motion by a small opposition Communist Party. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held delegation-level talks with Croatian Prime Minister Andrej Plenković in Zagreb. Leaders held discussions on a wide range of issues. Following delegation-level talks, India and Croatia exchanged 4 agreements. MOUs were exchanged in the field of agriculture and allied sectors. A cultural exchange program was agreed between the two nations for the years 2026 to 2030. A program of cooperation was signed in the field of science and technology for the period 2025 to 2029. MOU was also signed between Indian Council of Cultural Relations and University of Zagreb on the establishment of an ICCR chair of Hindi. Addressing the press meet, PM Modi said that the centuries-old cultural relations are the root of mutual affection and goodwill. PM Modi added that both leaders have decided to increase cooperation in many areas to increase bilateral trade and create a reliable supply chain.
द्विपक्षीय व्यापार को बढ़ाने और विश्वसनीय सप्लाई चेन तैयार करने के लिए कई क्षेत्रों में सहयोग बढ़ाने का निर्णय लिया है। हम फार्मा, एग्रीकल्चर, इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी, क्लीन टेक्नोलॉजी, डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी, रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, सेमीकंडक्टर, ऐसे कई महत्वपूर्ण विषयों में सहयोग को बढ़ावा देंगे। शिप बिल्डिंग और साइबर सिक्योरिटी में सहयोग बढ़ाया जाएगा। हमने अपने एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशंस और सेंटर्स के बीच जॉइंट रिसर्च और कोलैबोरेशन पर बल दिया है। भारत अपने स्पेस अनुभव को क्रोएशिया के साथ साझा करेगा।
PM Modi added that respect for the territorial integrity and sovereignty of any country is essential. He reiterated that dialogue and diplomacy is the only way forward to solve issues.
हम दोनों सहमत हैं कि आज के वैश्विक वातावरण में भारत और यूरोप की साझेदारी बहुत महत्व रखती है। ईयू के साथ हमारी स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप को मजबूत करने में क्रोएशिया का समर्थन और सहयोग बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। हम दोनों इस बात का समर्थन करते हैं कि यूरोप हो या एशिया, समस्याओं का समाधान रणभूमि से नहीं निकलता। डायलॉग और डिप्लोमेसी से ही वही एकमात्र रास्ता है।
Prime Minister Modi stressed that both nations agree that India-Europe partnership holds great importance in today's global environment. PM Modi also thanked Croatian government for their support against terrorism.
हम सहमत हैं कि आतंकवाद मानवता का दुश्मन है, लोकतंत्र में विश्वास रखने वाली शक्तियों का विरोधी है। 22 अप्रैल को भारत में हुए आतंकी हमले पर संवेदनाओं के लिए हम प्रधानमंत्री जी और क्रोएशिया सरकार के हार्दिक आभारी हैं। ऐसे कठिन समय में हमारे मित्र देशों का साथ हमारे लिए बहुत मूल्यवान था। हम दोनों सहमत हैं कि आज के वैश्विक वातावरण में भारत और यूरोप की साझेदारी बहुत महत्व रखती है.
And in a joint presser, Croatian Prime Minister Andrej Plenković said that both nations share friendly relations with a lot of mutual respect with significant historical ties. He added that today's agreements will further add momentum to the ties. He also hailed PM Modi's initiative of India, Middle East, Europe Economic Corridor.
We believe that Prime Minister Modi's initiative on the economic corridor between India, Middle East and Europe is an excellent opportunity. So India, European Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel, and then European ports. This is an opportunity to connect Croatia as a Mediterranean gate to Central Europe and to connect it to India, India's economy and India's market. This year, Croatia presides over the Three Seas initiative connecting Baltic Sea, Black Sea and the Adriatic Sea. So this corridor will get even greater Central European dimension.
Croatian Prime Minister added that two leaders also discussed India's efforts to conclude the free trade agreement with the European Union, which Croatia supports.
We have also talked about Indian efforts to conclude the free trade agreement with the European Union, which Croatia supports. We believe that these negotiations will finalize as soon as possible, negotiations about free trade agreement, because that will strengthen our cooperation and it will facilitate easier trade between Croatia and India.
And Croatian PM also expressed solidarity with victims of Pahalgam terrorist attack and supported PM Modi's stand against terrorism.
Expressed sorrow for the terrorist attack that happened in India, after which India had to react. And we also said that the global situation in terms of security is very volatile. So it is important to have the most influential actors worldwide to give their contribution to peace, de-escalate conflict, and to respect the rule of international law. We have understood very well the Indian Prime Minister's message on fighting against terrorism.
India's Ministry of External Affairs held special media briefing on PM Modi's visit to Croatia, giving details of Prime Minister Modi's engagement in Croatia. Both countries exchanged 4 MOUs.
The two leaders then welcomed the signing of 4 documents. These are an MOU on cooperation in agriculture and allied sectors, a program of cooperation in science and technology, a cultural exchange program, and an MOU on Hindi chair at University of Zagreb. The leaders in their discussions also look forward to an early conclusion of the India-EU FTA, which will give a boost to the bilateral trade and supply chain resilience.
And Secretary West in India's Ministry of External Affairs, Tanmay Lal, also highlighted that the visit took place against the backdrop of serious global challenges and flux. The leaders discussed a range of regional and global issues, including ongoing conflicts and other major developments. Cooperation in counter-terrorism featured prominently in their talks.
The two leaders during the delegation level talks and other occasions have discussed a very broad range of issues. As you're aware, the visit takes place against the backdrop of serious global challenges and flux. The leaders discussed regional and global issues, including ongoing conflicts and other major developments. Cooperation in counterterrorism was a prominent theme of discussions. Prime Minister Modi thanked Prime Minister Plenković for Croatia's support and solidarity in the wake of the terror attacks in Pahalgam. The two leaders agreed that there is a huge potential to expand trade, investment and innovation linkages. Some of the areas where there are business linkages include IT, pharmaceuticals, equipment for wind and solar power generation, railway signaling, arms and unmanned vehicles, ports and shipping, tourism and hospitality.
Prime Minister Modi met Croatian President Zoran Milanovic as well. The leaders reiterated their commitment to further strengthening India-Croatia ties across trade, technology and cultural cooperation, and expressed their shared commitment to democratic values and global peace. And in a significant gesture of friendship and shared respect for national heritage, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, along with his Croatian counterpart Andrej Plenković, visited the Homeland Memorial in Zagreb. The two leaders paid their tributes at the site, which stands as a solemn reminder of Croatia's struggle for independence and unity. Prime Minister Modi visited the city centre with Andrej Plenković, Prime Minister of the Republic of Croatia. Earlier, ahead of delegation-level talks, Prime Minister Modi was accorded a special welcome at St. Mark's Square in Croatia. Prime Minister of Croatia, Andrej Plenković, accompanied PM Modi. Prime Minister Modi also signed a visitor's book in presence of Croatian PM Andrej Plenković. Leaders exchanged gifts during the visit. Prime Minister of Croatia, Andrej Plenković, also showed PM Modi that specific site where a military rocket struck the presidential palace on October 7, 1991. The then Croatian government declared Croatia's immediate secession from Yugoslavia. All right, still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Bangladesh's economy is showing signs of serious stress. Russia's flagship International Economic Forum opens in St. Petersburg.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar.
Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. In a wide-ranging telephonic conversation on Wednesday, Prime Minister Modi and US President Donald Trump discussed key regional and global issues, from from terrorism and national security to the conflicts in Ukraine and West Asia. PM Modi firmly conveyed India's stance on terrorism, calling it a direct war, not a proxy one. The leaders also touched on diplomatic engagements, with Trump accepting PM Modi's invitation to visit India for the upcoming Quad summit. Here's more.
In a significant reaffirmation of India's rising diplomatic stature and global leadership, Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a high-level telephonic conversation with US President Donald Trump on a call initiated by the American side. In the 35-minute conversation that touched upon key issues of global and regional importance, PM Modi spoke with President Trump in detail about the recent terror attack in Pahalgam and Operation Sindhu. PM Modi made it clear that India considers terrorism not as a proxy war, but as a direct war and will respond with full resolve. PM Modi also clarified that no mediation or trade negotiations were part of India's response or policy during Operation Sindhu.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप को स्पष्ट रूप से कहा कि इस पूरे घटनाक्रम के दौरान कभी भी किसी भी स्तर पर भारत अमेरिका ट्रेड डील या अमेरिका द्वारा भारत और पाकिस्तान के बीच मध्यस्थता जैसे विषयों पर बात नहीं हुई थी। सैन्य कार्रवाई रोकने की बात सीधे भारत और पाकिस्तान के बीच दोनों सेनाओं की एग्जिस्टिंग चैनल्स के माध्यम से हुई थी और पाकिस्तान के ही आग्रह पर हुई थी। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने जोर देकर कहा कि भारत ने न तो कभी मध्यस्थता स्वीकार की थी, न करता है और न ही कभी करेगा। इस विषय पर भारत में पूर्ण रूप से राजनीतिक एकमत है।
The two leaders also exchanged views on pressing global concerns, including the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the conflict between Israel and Iran in West Asia.
राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप और प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने इजराइल ईरान के बीच चल रहे संघर्ष पर भी चर्चा की। रूस यूक्रेन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट पर दोनों ने सहमति जताई कि जल्द से जल्द शांति के लिए दोनों पक्षों में सीधी बातचीत आवश्यक है और इसके लिए प्रयास करते रहना चाहिए।
PM Modi invited President Trump to India for the next meeting of Quad. While accepting the invitation, President Trump said that he is excited to come to India.
इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र के संबंध में दोनों नेताओं ने अपने परिप्रेक्ष्य साझा किए और इस क्षेत्र में क्वाड की अहम भूमिका के प्रति समर्थन जताया। क्वाड की अगली बैठक के लिए प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप को भारत यात्रा का निमंत्रण दिया। राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप ने निमंत्रण स्वीकार करते हुए कहा कि वे भारत आने के लिए उत्सुक हैं।
With strong US support and continued focus on counter-terrorism, the conversation reflected India's rising influence and commitment to regional and international stability. Nishchoy Roy, for DD India.
PM Modi said that this visit has added new momentum to the India-Croatia ties.
हमने बहुत से ऐसे महत्वपूर्ण निर्णय लिए हैं जो भारत और क्रोएशिया की साझेदारी को और मजबूत करेंगे और नए क्षेत्रों में मिलकर काम करने के रास्ते खोलेंगे। आइए हम सब मिलकर प्रधानमंत्री जी के उत्तम स्वास्थ्य के लिए हमारे दोनों देशों के बीच घनिष्ठ मित्रता को और सुदृढ़ करने के लिए और हमारे लोगों की निरंतर प्रगति और समृद्धि के लिए शुभकामनाएं व्यक्त करें।
And Croatian Prime Minister also hosted a dinner for Prime Minister Modi, where he lauded PM Modi's leadership and said that India has emerged as a strong advocate of Global South.
Today, India stands at the vanguard of global progress, guided by a bold and inclusive vision for development, sustainability, and technical innovation. Under your dynamic leadership, India has emerged as a strong advocate for the Global South and a powerful voice on the international stage. Your successful hosting of 2023 G20 Summit, as well as the upcoming Global Artificial Intelligence Summit, which is due February next year, are shining examples of this global leadership. Croatia commends your enduring efforts to promote peace, foster cooperation and advance human progress both within India and far beyond your borders.
US President Donald Trump said on Wednesday that Iran is now looking to engage in negotiations, but he dismissed the attempt, remarking, "I said it's very late." His comments come amid intensifying military clashes between Iran and Israel and increasing speculation about possible US involvement.
I said it's very late, you know? I said it's very late to be talking.
Mr. President.
We may meet, I don't know, there's a big difference between now and a week ago, right?
And declining to confirm whether United States intends to target Iranian nuclear facilities, President Trump said, "You don't seriously think I'm going to answer that question. I may do it, I may not do it."
I mean, you don't know that I'm going to even do it. You don't know. I may do it, I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that Iran's got a lot of trouble, and they want to negotiate. And I said, why didn't you negotiate with me before? All this death and destruction, why didn't you negotiate? I said to the people, why didn't you negotiate with me 2 weeks ago? You could have done fine. You would have had a country. It's very sad.
And Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei rejected US President Donald Trump's demand for unconditional surrender on Wednesday. In a recorded speech aired on television, Khamenei said that the Americans should know that any US military intervention will undoubtedly be accompanied by irreparable damage.
And of course, the Americans, those who are familiar with the politics of this region, know that America's intervention in this matter is 100% to their detriment. What they will suffer in this regard is much greater than what Iran may suffer. The damage America will suffer if it makes a military intervention in this field will undoubtedly be irreparable.
As tensions escalate in West Asia amid the ongoing Iran-Israel conflict, India launched Operation Sindhu to evacuate its nationals from the conflict zones of Iran. In a swift response, the Indian embassy successfully evacuated 110 Indian students from northern Iran. On June 17th, these students were moved by road to Yerevan, the capital of Armenia. They are now being flown to New Delhi with their arrival expected soon. While Operation Sindhu is underway, the embassy continues to assist Indian nationals in relocating from high-risk areas to safer zones within Iran, with further evacuations being planned as conditions allow. Indian citizens in Iran have been urged to remain in close contact with the embassy in Tehran and the Ministry of External Affairs 24/7 control room in New Delhi for timely updates and assistance. And a minority centre-right government officially took power in Portugal on Wednesday after surviving an opposition motion by the Communist Party to reject its programme. The government's agenda includes middle-class and corporate tax cuts, maintaining budget surpluses and engaging in dialogue with opposition parties. Meanwhile, the Communists, holding just 3 seats in the 230-member parliament, criticized the programme for being against the interest of workers and rejected the government's plan to raise defence spending to 2% of GDP. And the 28th St. Petersburg International Economic Forum kicked off in the second largest city of Russia on Wednesday, bringing together all parties to explore effective approaches to addressing global challenges. Nearly 20,000 representatives from 140 countries and regions have confirmed their participation in the forum. This forum is held at a time when the global economy is facing severe challenges. It is poised to be a platform for discussing the issues from accelerating digitalization to addressing climate change. Russian President Vladimir Putin will attend a plenary session and deliver a speech on Friday. Established in 1997, the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum is an important platform for discussing global economic governance and fostering international consensus on cooperation. Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.